wisdom and knowledge of his text, man. But with that, I'm gonna pass it to the next buddy that read this. You know, let's say, come here, Solo.
Come here, Solo.
Come here, Solo.
Come here, Solo. Come here, Solo.
It's so much going on in the earth, and that's all the credit to the Most High God. That's right. The Most High God orchestrated, moving things, so on and so forth, and having His ways be established upon the face of the earth. That's all the doings and all the ways of the Most High. Right? He in control of everything, and what He wants, that's what's gonna happen. And it's for us to make sure we do and fulfill our job. You understand that He gave it to us, right, as His people. Right? Walking in His ways. You understand? Bringing people back to the way of living. Right? Other than that, everything else, that's for the ways of the world. That's for them to partake in. Right? But us, nonetheless, we got to make sure we're
What?
right? So, in the book of chapter 21, verse 28. Right, we're gonna start off with that and we're gonna end with that because that's what we ought to do in the last day. Right? Go ahead and bring this up.
It's the book of Luke, chapter 21 and verse 28.
You know?
And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads.
Right? It says, then look up and lift up your heads. Go ahead.
For your redemption draweth nigh.
Right, that's it on that, right? So the Lord said when you see these things coming to pass, when you see wars and rumors of wars, right? And that's what we're looking at now. We're seeing wars going on, right? And we're hearing the rumors of wars that's going on, man. The start of wars going on all together. You understand? You're seeing upwards of the people from all around the world, right? Including America, right? We're seeing some vicious men. We're seeing people up war and doing this they government, like that's going on in Iran right now, man. Like that's going on in America right now, man. We're seeing all these different things. We're seeing the love of many wax cold. You understand? We're seeing it, and every time that happens, it just happens on a greater level. It happens on a greater scale. It happens on a greater level. Right? So the Lord said, when we see these things, we gotta look up for our redemption draw now. How you do that? How do you look up? Right? That's called walking in the ways of the Lord, walking in the ways of the Most High. Urging yourself closer and closer to the words of the Lord. Right? Molding yourself into the words of the Most High God. That's how you look up and understand, right, your redemption is drawn. Right? And that's what we gotta do day in and day out. Because guess what? Hey, these other nations, they gonna continue to do what they do.
Right.
They gonna continue to do what they do. Even the Lord told you what? He said they would not repent.
Right.
Right? You read the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, what it says? He's saying, hey, we would have healed Babylon. We would have. But guess what? It can't be healed. Right? It can't be. Right? And it can't and it will not be. Why? Because the Most High God don't want to be.
Right.
Right? But why? The Lord gotta destroy this place.
Right.
Right? And they sin just reach them up higher and higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. Man. Right? That's the difference between Israel and the other nations, man. The Lord, he judges swiftly. Right? He judges swiftly.
Right.
You understand? But guess what? As a nation of people, he judges us swiftly. But guess what? The other nations, he let them stack up.
See that?
Stack up. So then when they get destroyed, guess what? Can't nobody say nothing. Can't nobody say nothing. The Lord is just and perfect in all he's doing.
Right.
We always got to realize that the same good. Right? When you get the book of Revelation, like in Revelation, Revelation 17 and verse 4.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 17 and verse 4.
Bring it out.
And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls.
Right?
Having a gold,
Talking about America, go ahead.
having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication.
Right? And that's what America is. It's just a cup that got nothing, a cup of filth and nothing but lies, deceit, mischief, right? Murder. You understand? They pollute the air, the ocean, sea. They make animals go extinct. Right? They put nations in chattel slavery.
Right.
You understand? All types of different things, right? And they try to give you reasons as to why it's okay for them to do that, but then condemn other people when they do it.
Hypocrites.
Right? There you go. Hypocrites. Right? They stole another oil tanker, man.
See that? See that?
Another
one.
Proud.
And they stole it from multiple nations.
But
guess what? Let Jake, not saying that this is okay, right? But let Jake run in somebody's crib and take something. Take a game system, man.
Con.
Or TV,
Con.
right?
Con.
Right, breaking and entering, man. Giving them years, man. But who's giving years to the so-called white man?
Right?
Who's giving years to the small hats?
Con.
That's what the Most High God is.
That's right.
He's just stacking them years on top of each other.
That's right.
Stacking them on top of each other until it's going to come a point in time, like you read about in the book of Obadiah, guess what? They're going to be enslaved, man.
That's right.
Same thing you read about in the book of Job, chapter, Job chapter, right? Job chapter 23, where it says, look, you shall see them no more, man.
That's right.
It shall be like a dream. You understand? That's what the Lord is going to be the judge of these nations. You might have some people say, man, when they going to get theirs, man? Hey, they going to get theirs, and it's going to be a glorious thing to see.
Con.
It's going to be a glorious thing to see, like you read about in the book of Sirach, chapter 25 and 7 on down, man. Right? The Lord said, what? It's a beautiful thing, paraphrasing, man.
Con.
It's going to be a righteous thing to see a fall of your enemies, man.
Con.
See that?
Beautiful thing to see the fall of the people that had their hand and played part in your downfall for generation to generation to generation to generation.
See that?
You understand? But all these things happen while obviously, like you said in the beginning, because of Most High God, but also why? Because the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans waking up in the last days as well, man.
That's right.
Waking up, man. They understanding and coming back to the realization of their purpose, right? Who they are, the royalty that we come from, right? And we coming back as obedient children into the Father.
Con.
Right? Let's keep reading that in Revelation chapter 17.
The book of Revelation, chapter 17 and verse 5.
Bring it out.
And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon, the Great, the mother of all harlots
Right.
and abominations of the earth. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints.
See that, and that's the time that we get ushered into very slowly but surely, right? That's it on that, right? It says he was drunken with the blood of the saints, man. Right? You see you see so-called ICE and all these other different things going on, the uprising, the upwards of the people over here in America. Yeah, you see the other nations, the ones getting popped, right? And that's another war too. Just because it's something tragic, that don't mean that it ain't another war. It's
Right.
still a little war, man.
Right.
You understand? But nevertheless, they doing that to their own people.
That's right.
Right? So Jay, what you think they gonna do to you, man? When the time comes. Right? When that time, when that great and terrible time comes, what you think they gonna do to you, man? Right? You think they gonna say, yeah, I remember that time you looked out for me and this and that and that. Nah, they don't care about that, man.
Right.
They're not gonna have a regard, and they don't give a damn about which can't or you are you the one that accept me. They don't care, man. They're not gonna care about none of that, man. You understand? It's gonna be what? It's gonna be those that's trying to worship and serve the Most High God in sincerity and the truth. Guess what? Hey, it's gonna be a time like never before, like we read about in Jeremiah 37 on down, or 4 on down, right? Like you read about in Revelation chapter 6 and verse 10, right? Or 8 and 10 on down, right? Like we read about right here. All throughout the scriptures, you read about this time, right? Christ prophesied it about the same time. Daniel prophesied it about the same time, right? And that's what you slowly see, right? Right? And that's right. What's going on, sis? You trying to take a flyer? Is this a piece of paper?
I got one last week, but I need another one.
All right, we appreciate you, sis. Be warm while you out here, all right?
Come out here. When I don't work, I'm gonna come out here and I can talk to you.
All right, we love you, sis. Be safe while you're out here, all right? All praise to the Most High.
All praise.
These are the things you understand that we see those, right? Standing upon the watchtower, right? We see these things coming. We see these things slowly being ushered in, man.
Yes.
Right? We see the war that's going on throughout the four corners of the earth.
Yes.
Same thing we see the Arabians and the Carmanians gathering themselves together. Man.
Yes.
Fight against America, like you read about in the book of 2nd Esdras, right, chapter 15. Man. We see that.
Come.
We see that formulating, man. We see the 10 toes beginning to be divided, man. We see that.
Right.
Right? We see that raging a woman drunk to and fro with the cup and the abominations in her hand. Right?
Ah.
Right? We see those different things. Right? We see how Trump is going to literally put forth the downfall of America.
Ha yes.
The same way, and the Lord got a funny way of doing things. Right? His whole slogan is "Make America Great Again." Right? But it's going to lead to the destruction again. Right? It's going to lead to the destruction, but this time it's not going to be an upright. It's not going to be a we shall build again. Give me that in the book of Malachi, chapter 1 and verse 3. Because guess what? They have done it. It's how you know the Lord cold too, man. Right? That's how you know the Lord is cold in his doing, right? So,
It's the book of Malachi, chapter 1 and verse 3.
Bring it out.
And I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places.
Right? Said we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Right? You good. Right? Said we will return and build desolate places. And that's what they do. Right? That's what they do. They return and build the desolate places. Right? When they was ruling, when they had their king, their own kings, like you read about during the time of you read about it both times, but you read about they princes and stuff during the time of Genesis. Right? You read about Agag. You understand? King of the Amalekites. Right? You read about or you can look through history rather and see, right, the uprising of the Greeks, right, and how they ended up falling, right, how the Romans got ushered in, and how they ended up falling, right, how you had the Holy Roman Empire, you had the Western Roman Empire, Eastern Roman Empire, how they fit, like you see these different things, they just come back. They come back and build the desolate place. They come back and build, you understand, their so-called civilization up. They come back up, right? Take a flyer, sis. Right? They come back and build up their society. Right? How do they build up their society? They build it up through pushing false propaganda, through pushing so-called religion, through pushing ideologies, through pushing brainwashing, through pushing their idea of what they think freedom is. Right? And you see it on repeat when you look throughout history. You see it on repeat all the time. Repeat. America's no different. So they said, but we will return and build the desolate places, and what the Lord said.
Malachi 1 verse 3.
Bring it out.
And I hate Esau and laid his bones in his heritage waste
Right, we've seen that happen multiple times throughout history. Go ahead.
for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom said, we are in purpose, but we will return and will build the desolate places.
And we've seen that happen multiple times throughout history. We've seen Esau come back, man, and rebuild his empire, quote unquote, back up. Right, go ahead.
Thus said the Lord of hosts,
Bring it out.
they shall build up,
Right.
but I will throw
Right,
down.
that's the point, right? That's it on that. Right? He said so. But he said, yeah, they're gonna rebuild, but guess what? I'm gonna throw it down every time.
Right.
I'm gonna throw it down every time, though. And that's what the Lord is doing. They build it, and the Lord is throwing it down. But guess what? And that's how you know this empire is not built off the Lord for it. They say in God we trust. Well, they don't. That ain't our God.
Right.
No.
That ain't the Most High God.
That's right.
That in God we trust is.
Not at
Because
all.
if it was, then guess what? It wouldn't be able to be overthrown.
Right.
It wouldn't be able to be overthrown if that was the case. Right? The Lord said in the book of Psalms chapter, if I'm not mistaken, Psalms chapter 137 and verse 1, right? The Lord said what? The Lord said, well, let me get that. Psalms. Psalms. It said 137, Psalms 127. Verse 1.
Book of Psalms, chapter 27. The book of Psalms, chapter 127 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
A song of degrees for Solomon. Except Yahweh build the house, they labor in vain. That building.
Right, that's it on that, right? That's the point. Except the Lord build the house, man, they labor in vain that build it. So Esau continued to come back building their house up, but it's all in vain.
Right.
Every single time. That's why the Lord said they shall build, but I will throw it down. Because it's not, see, that's how you know they're hypocrites. In God we trust. Like the brother said, that's the God of this world that they trust in. That's right. Right? That's Satan that they trust in.
Oh.
You understand? That's who they put their trust in. Right? That's why everything that they get, even the Lord tells you in the book of Sirach, he said what? He said there's a gain that what? Turns to loss. So just because you gain something, that don't mean that that's like the Lord gave you that as a blessing. I don't mean that he gave you that because you was doing something right, per se. But the Lord said, hey, there's a gain that turned into a loss. And it's particularly those gains that's gotten by deceit, that's gotten by unrighteous dealings. And that's all the so-called white man is built off of. His whole entire body is full of nothing but evil, wickedness, right? And that's what they built America off of, right? They stole the land. You understand? Not only did they steal the land, but they raped, robbed, and murdered in the process of it. Right? People think it was just war that went on. We just lost. Get them next time. Nah, they went further. Even you take that in the book of Zechariah, man. Chapter 1. The Lord said what? The Lord said they went, paraphrasing really, but they went further than they was supposed to. Right? They did more. He said, I was but a little displeased, man, with my people. But what he say? He said, but they helped for the affliction. Right? So these are the different things that crimes rather than the so-called white man gotta pay for. And he gonna pay the tab, you understand, with his own blood. That's how the Lord said they should be returned swiftly upon his own head. You understand? And they gonna have to lay in that, they making their bed and they gonna have to lay in it. Or like you read about in the book of Job, they dig a ditch, right? But it's for them. They dig in the ditch. The whole time it's for them.
Right.
It's just for their system, huh?
Make
Right?
cake.
So these different things, right, should be glorious in the eyes of the so-called black system. Right? When you see the uproars of the people, right? When you see these wars going at each other, when you see America and its allies disagreeing all the time, man, right? They can't see eye to eye. They can't see eye to eye. That should be beautiful to see, man. When you watching these different, when you watching not these different interviews, but these different councils and different news updates and stuff, man, it should be good to see how Trump trying to override and overpower his own allies. They gonna look at him like, man, you doing too much, man. And what's gonna happen? That's gonna cause them to want to what? Withdraw themselves.
Yep.
Right? Give me the book of Jeremiah chapter 50. Or give me Jeremiah 51 and verse 1. Jeremiah 51 and verse 1.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 51 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
Thus saith Yahweh, behold, I will raise up against Babylon, and against them that dwell in the midst of them, that rise up against me, and a destroying wind,
Right?
and will send unto Babylon fanners, that shall fan her.
You see that? It said, I will raise up to Babylon a destroying wind. Right? And that destroy, it said that they should be those that are round about her that should come and shall fan her. Right? Go ahead.
Come. And shall empty her land. For in the day of trouble, they shall be against her round about.
You see that, right? That's it on that. Right? It said for the day of trouble, they shall be against her round about. And what is that? Those are the so-called allies that America think they got. Right? They gonna turn, first they gonna go like this, and they gonna all turn against it. Right? It's prophecy. Then some people will be like, no, they would never do that. They know better. They know better. Well, hold on. Guess what? Hey, the Lord is the one that's in control. Right? The Lord is in control. The Lord is in control of all of this, man. Right? You read Isaiah chapter 30, verse 30.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 30, and verse number 30.
Bring it out.
And it reads thus. In the Lord shall cause his glorious voice to be heard. It will shoot the lightnings down of his arm with the inundation of his anger, and with the flame of a devouring fire, and with scattering and tempest and hailstones. Verse number 31. It says, For through the voice of the Lord shall the Assyrian be beaten down, which smote with a rod. And in every place where their grinding staff shall pass, which the Lord shall lay upon him, it shall be with the tabrets and the harps.
Right.
And in battle of shaking will he fight with it. For Tophet is ordained of old. Yeah, for the king it is prepared. He hath made it deep and large. The power thereof is fire in much wood. The breath of the Lord like a stream of brimstone.
Right, so these different things is what's going to come upon these nations. And those that, you understand, gather themselves with it. Because you're going to have some, that's it on that. You're going to have some nations, you understand, that kind of stick with Babylon. Right? Chiefly, it's going to be those nations that's starting to get on Babylon, that's trying to get with Babylon right now.
Right now.
Which are what? Those smaller nations. Like you got Ukraine. They've been begging for years. They was trying to join NATO, man. Some years back. Still probably trying to do that. Remember when what's the name? Their president, Zelensky, he came to the White House to talk with Trump to try to see what they could do. And Trump just straight up told him, like, man, look, you gonna get what you give y'all, man. That's gonna be that.
That's right.
Right? Y'all going over there. We gonna help y'all a little bit, man. But quit coming to the crib, man.
Quit begging.
Yeah.
Yeah, quit begging. That's what he told him. That's what he told him. He in there, he like, man, y'all need to do this. Trump man, like, man, look, we gonna give y'all this, right? Now going back over there. Right? Don't hit my line no more. He treated him like
Like a sting.
yeah. Here, man, here. Bro. Right? So these are the things, right, that we see going on.
Right.
But those are going to be the type of nations that try to stick with America. And that's going to be the same nations that fall with America in the end, too. They're going to be the same nations that fall with America. Like you read about in, Second Esdras. Right, give me Second Esdras. 15:46. Right? Your Taiwans. Right? Think about it. America is a bully. But at the same time, they try to help out the little small nations. Right? But bullies at the same time. Right? But guess what? Those nations, man, they gonna get jammed up right with America. Go ahead and bring this up.
The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15 and verse 46.
Bring it out.
And thou, Asia, thou art that art partaker of the hope of Babylon.
Right? You see, that says thou art a partaker of the hope of Babylon. That's those nations that's trying to what? Cleave into Babylon, trying to cleave into America. Go ahead.
And art the glory of her person. Woe be unto thee, thou wretch, because thou hast made thyself like unto her.
You see that? You took on the philosophies and the doctrines of the so-called white man. Right? Or chiefly America. You took on their white Jesus, man. You took on their democracy, man. You took on their ways and they fashioned. You changed your ways for America, man. Read.
And hast decked thy daughters in whoredom, that they might please and glory in thy lovers.
Right? And that's it on that, right? Who's those daughters? That's when they force their people to get down with the ways of America. See that? Because the world leaders, right? You got the world leaders, and then the world leaders, what do? They trickle down to the people that's in that particular nation. And they follow right after that. They follow right after the ways of America. Like we always say, what the hell the Chinese man doing with a soda?
Right. With a basketball.
Right? What is he doing celebrating Thanksgiving? What is he doing celebrating the 4th of July? But that's him taking on the fashions and the ways of America. Right? The Arab man. What is them taking on the ways and the fashions of America? Right? The so-called African man. What is that taking on the ways and the fashions of America? You understand? But the Lord said he got something for them. Like I said, the Lord said, woe unto them, right? Woe unto them. Right? And if Taiwan keep acting like now Ukraine, right? They're gonna fall right along with America and Ukraine and all the other nations that's trying to join themselves into America. And then you got America's allies that is gonna turn their back on them. France, not turn their back on America, man. Right? They don't turn their back on America. You understand? Any other they so-called allies, and they're gonna turn their back on them. Right? And that's what we're gonna see Jeremiah chapter 51. Where that destroying ram raised up and you're gonna have the nation of Israel what? Man, you know what? When you light an incense or you light something on fire, you go like this to it, what happens? It glows. When you start a fire, what they tell you to do afterward? They tell you to blow on it, Why? Because they amplify the fire. That's what these nations is going to do. They're going to amplify the hurt towards America. They're going to amplify it, man. And guess what? That's all going to be the war, man. That's all we're doing to the Most High God. Why? Because it's prophecy and it got to come to pass. Right? You can't pray against it, because guess what? That prayer is going to be in vain.
Right.
Right? You can't, there ain't nothing you can do about it. All you can do is sit back. Like you read about in the Second Chronicles, all you can do is sit back and watch the Lord work. What the Lord said, sit back and be still.
Right.
And watch the, what he's saying, watch the salvation of your God. And that's what Jacob and Eve got to do. Right? Yeah, you can watch it. Ain't nothing wrong with watching it. But don't be a partaker of it.
Right.
Don't be a partaker of the ways of America. The ways of America is going to get a lot of people unalive. A lot of people dealt with, man. Right? Don't go down with this nation. Right? But rather rise above it, man. Right? You got to, man. Right? But that goes by way of making sure we're doing what we're supposed to do. Making sure we're walking in the ways of the Lord. Make sure we're going to that rock that's higher than us. You understand? Making sure we're calling upon the name of the Lord, man. Making sure we're watching the signs of the times and establishing our ways according to those different stuff. Understanding that, look, we got but a short time. Right? We don't got 300 more years, man. 1,000 more years. We got to go. Right? The Lord might come back in 3028. Nah, it ain't going to be none of that.
Right.
Big,
Right.
Right? God forbid. All right? But rather, you understand, be a short time. Be a short time. And that's the time that we got to make sure we get ourselves together. The Lord said in the book of Proverbs chapter 8 and verse 4, he said, right, unto you, old men, I call, and my voice unto the sons of men.
Come.
Right? So we got to make sure that we establish it. We got to make sure that we be a walking example of it for the nation of people, right? They need an example. Right? Some people might say, well, damn, why not go out there? What are you talking about? You may see so-called black Hispanics and Native Americans, they driving past in their car. Right? And they see, man, look at me out there. It's 0 degrees, man. Are they really out there? Some people, that'll give people hope, man. Like, damn, that'll give people a cause to pause, to really just sit there and think, man. They standing on what they believe in, man. Let me see what they about. Right, let me see why they so passionate. Right? Somebody that's super passionate about something, that would cause anybody to want to see what it is.
Right.
Like, yeah, why they so passionate about what they do? Right? People, it's like that even for sports. In sports, people love hearing the reason as to why they do what they do, or why they go so hard, or why they had that chip on their shoulder. That make you want to root for them even more. That's why shows like ESPN got stuff like 30 for 30s or this or that, or they, before a big game or something, they interview the player, asking all these growing, how he grew up and all that stuff, because people are interested in what drives somebody. They're interested by that. So in like manner, guess what? The people that see us, right, Lord willing, they draw interest from that. Right? Like I told that story before. My auntie, she did the same thing. She literally went to learn about my beliefs and being a Hebrew Israelite simply off the fact of what we're doing right now. She said, verbatim, if you can stand out there in the cold for what you believe in, I want to know what you believe in. So these things, right, you gotta remember, these things don't go unnoticed, not for naught. None of those different things. Yeah, we had the sister. Not too long ago, she said, man, when I don't gotta work, I'm gonna come out here and I'm actually talking about. You don't know what could have been going through her mind. She's already had one. But she got like, dang, they out there in the cold. So, you know what? I'm gonna talk to them. I ain't gotta work, I'm gonna come out here and I'm gonna talk. Right? But it's all through the spirit of God, the Most High God. Right? In Proverbs chapter 20, right? Verse 4, right? It says, the slugger would not foul by reason of the cold. Right? Slugger, right? Said the slugger would not foul by reason of the cold. Right? It is cold. Brother's cold. It's cold as hell out here. Right? Nevertheless, right, the worst thing gotta go on.
Right.
Right? In wisdom, obviously. They don't come out here and get frostbite. right? Nevertheless, right? Hey, the word's still gonna go out. Regardless, right? You get that in Luke chapter 21 and verse 28. Luke 21 and 28.
The book of Luke. The book of Luke, chapter 21 and verse 28.
Bring it on.
And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up.
What?
Then look up.
Right? When you see the uprisings and the people that's going on in America, whether that be in Minnesota, Chicago, or wherever through the four corners of America, or whether that's the uproar that's going on in Iran right now, right? Or in Cuba, whatever the case is, you see the uprising and the uproars of the people. You hear about the wars and rumors of wars. You hear about rumors of America getting ready to do a demolition job on Iran, man. Going to war against Iran. Iran already said that they're going to war against America. America talking about they get ready to start moving in pretty soon, man. War with them. Right? You don't really know what those things talking about. When you see these things happen, right? When you see, right, the house divided against itself. When you see America being divided against itself, man. And damn, Minnesota not even complying with what Trump said, man. The mayor or governor, whatever the hierarchy is in the government structure in Minnesota, they like, man, to hell with what he's talking about. They like to hell with what he's talking about. Trump said, man, you better get that stuff in order. I'm sending troops over there to get it in order. Right? What's going on, brother? Take a flyer, King. Take a flyer. Just a paper. Just a piece of paper.
Gotta go, man.
All right, but you guys chosen people, all right? We the Israelites. We gotta repent, keep the commandments, man.
Right.
The time is short.
Very short.
Right? The time is short, and our King coming back soon.
Right.
God forbid, man, we get destroyed and taken down with mother of all harlots, America, aka Babylon, aka right, daughter of Babylon, aka mystery Babylon, aka the Great Horde.
God forbid.
God forbid. God forbid we get taken down with this wicked place, man. Right, go ahead.
Come. Look up. Then look up and lift up your hands, for your redemption draws nigh.
Right, for our redemption draws nigh to the spirit and power of Yahweh God, Shem Yahweh. Come yourself.
Come, minha sala. Come, minha sala.
Come yourself.
Come, minha sala.